welcome to JG's Fight Talk, and with me today I've got Michael Alldis and my mate Nath. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. You?
All good, mate.
Good.
Just to say, this is sponsored by Rich's Boxing and Boxing Pin Badges on Twitter. So if you do have a look at them, go and give them a look and buy some. Or helps them out. So let's start with the intro. So, how's everyone doing? Bit of a mad time at the moment, Mickey.
Yeah, I mean, this COVID it's got a lot of questions to answer. So, but I'm ticking over, obviously, in every single way. Work-wise is good for me, so that's all that matters at the moment.
Yeah, no, definitely. As I say, it's a funny time for everyone at the moment, isn't it? Especially in the boxing world at the moment, when you look at, a lot of the lads that are doing lads and ladies doing the grassroots side of things, where the shows aren't really happening at the moment. It's all up in the air, isn't it? Even for the pros, really.
Yeah, it's not too good for anyone. I know a young Crawley boy has just turned pro, James Verbeaten, and I mean, what time to turn pro during COVID? I mean, his career's on hold at the moment, so.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of pros, aren't we, that aren't even getting out the door. So it's very difficult to, see the youngsters getting out there, isn't it? So.
No, I mean, the sporting world's been closed down completely. So.
Yeah. Well, you think 2 weeks ago it all kicked off again, didn't it? We had the boxing start with Josh Warrington.
Yeah, I mean that was an excellent fight. I mean, hopefully a rematch is in order there.
Yeah, and then we had the past weekend. There's been a lot of shocks, hasn't there? A lot of shocks.
Oh yeah.
Do you think the crowd's got a lot to do with it?
This is no crowd. It's got to be just like a sparring session to me. I think it would be. It takes the edge off the fighting. I think the crowd, even in the football world as well, with a crowd, players perform, boxers perform with a crowd as well. With no crowd there, I just think it's more like sparring. You lose that little bit of edge, I think.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm quite surprised, to be fair, that they haven't held it out for a few more months longer. Give the boys more time in the gym. I know it's frustrating for the pros and even the amateurs. But the world is in such a state at the moment. I'm just shocked that Eddie's even put shows on with no one there. I can't imagine getting in the ring without a crowd behind you cheering on, and even having your wife and your kids 100%. There. Just, do you know what I mean? It's just, if it was me personally, I'd say I'd hold out 6 months. I'll spend more time in the gym. I'll go around gyms, do more training, like sparring, heavy sparring, and just wait until the time was right. But unfortunately, we never knew how long this is going to go on for. So far it's been a year. Thank goodness.
It could be another year as well.
Of course it could. And then you are wasting your time, and none of us are getting any younger. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, for the older generation fighters, it'd be a lot harder to sort of stay in the game as such. And then you've got the young boxers coming in. It's been a proper crash of every single sport out there and businesses. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them things where you would, Mickey, if you said to me last year, this time next year, you have to queue up to go into the supermarkets, you're going to have to wear a mask, I would have turned around and said, mate, what planet are you on? Do you know what I mean? But
it's a new world, it is, and I think it's going to be a new world for a lot longer as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You look at what Eddie has done and Frank Warren have done. In regards to the bubbles and turning up the COVID testing, having to stay in isolation for say 24 hours, and then you're almost living at the hotel, aren't you, for that length of time?
We're trying to keep the world moving. That's what people are trying to do. Likes of Eddie, they're trying to do that, keep the world moving, keep the sport moving. But this is what we're going to have to put up with for a long time now. We are. In every single sport.
I bet you're glad you boxed when you did, Mickey.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I couldn't imagine boxing in a world like this now. No way. I mean,
Yeah,
where the crowd is the fun part of it.
you know, when you won like the British title and the Commonwealth, you know, the crowd must have been a massive part for you there.
The crowd, I would say, when I won the British title, I think it was 1 point I won it by against Patrick Mullins. I just think without the crowd there, well, that could have gone another way, definitely. So for me, yeah, my crowd was unbelievable, and then to have them behind me at all times, it was just like a third arm for me, or third fist for me. It was.
Well, and you know, one of the reasons we've brought Nath in here is the fact that you two know each other quite well, don't you? You know, it's not just a pretty face.
We're going to be snowboarding then, but we're still looking into
Well,
it. Do you know what I
you
mean?
know, unfortunately, we have to save that one to next year. I mean, I was hoping to show you how it was done on the slopes this year. You know what I mean? But I'll save that. I'll save that till next year now.
Yeah, definitely. Do you know what I mean? I'm still trying to get out this year. Do you know what I mean? But it's I don't know how to plan it.
It's not. The thing is, I'd like to go, but at the end of the day, when you've got to isolate for 10 days afterwards in an hotel for the cost of £1,500 or what, it makes everything.
That's only 33 hotspot countries, and France and Spain isn't one of them. So it's like, but anyway, we'll chat about this another time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yeah.
So how did you two meet? Like, how did it start? It sounds like some sort of dating thing, but it's not.
No. Obviously, Mickey's from down at Crawley. Do you know what I mean? I was brought up in Horsham, and Horsham and Crawley together are very small towns. You get to know everyone, and
they're right next to you. You're talking 10 miles.
Yeah, and
I used to train down. I used to train down Crawley and Horsham quite frequently. Was it Johnny down there? Who was the trainer? Johnny was down there, wasn't he?
Johnny Barnes, wasn't it?
Yeah. Who else was training down there at the time? Actually, there's a scaffolder. I'm trying to think of his name. There's a couple of scaffolders fighting on there, like down the gym and that lot. So for me, Horsham was a place I used to go and spar regularly. Obviously, Crawley was my main gym. So for me, yeah. Horsham, it was a tough gym. I mean, I don't know if it's been updated lately. I think it has actually, hasn't it?
Yeah, it got done a few years back. Yeah, but I haven't been down there for so many years. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, I'm on my Facebook. I've still got loads of friends that go there, and obviously, do you know what I mean? Like the shows that have gone on, I see things all the time. Same as with Crawley. It's just it's one of them. You know, they're good, solid boys down there. And trust me, when I say that boys from Joel, and I've said it, you know, when we've been training, you get different breed of fighters. And for some reason up here, especially Suffolk and the top end of Essex, as soon as you start going south, you know, down south, and you're hitting the London groups, they're a tougher breed down there. But Crawley and Horsham had tough boys. And even if you look back, you know, Crawley has produced some of the best boxers. Like, for instance, you've got Alan Minter, you've got Ross Minter, you've got Alan Gilbert. Do you remember Alan Gilbert?
Yeah. That's funny enough. If Alan's probably listening, he's been trying to call me today. Funny enough, I've got a scaffold up at his house which he wants down, so I'm a bit avoiding his calls at the moment.
Yeah, so
away from your work, Mickey.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I see Alan occasionally. So
do you? Do you know what? He used to live in my house donkeys years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, it must have been 15, 20 years ago. Enough respect for that guy. Do you know what I mean? And he's a good mechanic.
You know what? I used to when I come down, when I trained in Romford, Alan come down with me all the time. So he used to run with me. We used to run together. We used to train together. So me and Alan become really good friends over the years. We did. So, and I've got enough respect for him, 100%.
No. So getting back to the Crawley and the Horsham. So obviously, you know, Big George, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? Used to be one of the trainers down there. I worked with him at Icon Diva, and he used to come up the gym and I'd grill Nathan. I used to go down there a couple of times and my God, did he put me through my paces? Was he one of your trainers at the time there, Mick?
No, George weren't really on the scene when I was fighting down there. My trainer was Kevin Hayes and Paddy Army. Really. Paddy was my first trainer. So I mean, Paddy. What's Paddy now? He's got to be in his 80s now, I think. And he's still training down there now. So boxing's his life, and I know he'll be there to the day he dies.
He reminds me a little bit of obviously Mike Tyson and his old trainer. Do you know what I mean? Like literally to the end of the days, he would be there. But if that's his passion, that's what he loves doing. Fair play to the bloke. Couldn't wish for anything else. If that's what someone's desire is, 100% go for it. And so when you must have been what, 2005, Mick? When was your last fight? When he trained you?
I retired in 2003.
2003.
But I had
sorry.
a comeback fight, I think 4 years ago.
Right.
Cut a long story short, I've got a scaffold company. We got a big fine for the health and safety. Someone offered me a free fight deal, obviously to get rid of it.
Right.
I took the first fight, and I thought, at the time then I was 48 years of age, so I fought some 25-year-old, some 26-year-old. And you know what? The training, I trained so hard. I knocked him out, I think, in 2 or 3 rounds, I knocked him out. But I just thought, if I got it in me to fight, like to work and fight another 2 times, and it wasn't for me, to be honest with you. So I just knocked it on the head. I just thought that'd do me. Quit while I'm ahead. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Did you pay the fine off?
Sorry?
Yeah.
Did
I pay the fine off? Near enough, anyway. Put it that way.
Yeah, close. Yeah. Sweet.
Oh, every little helps, doesn't it, Mick?
Yeah, of course it does. That's life, yeah.
So Mick, when you was at Crawley, what gym was you? Did you start off at Tilgate or was you straight in at Three Bridges? Because I
was straight in at Three Bridges. So when Three Bridges was open, then when it just opened, I think 80. I reckon 85, 86. I went in the gym.
Right.
So I was quite a late starter. I started boxing.
Go on.
So very late for a boxer. But what I remember, I grew up in London. I moved from London to Crawley when I was 15. And life in London for me, it was exciting. We had a good time in London. We were just always doing things. There's always something to do in London. When I moved to Crawley, there was all of us. We moved to an estate where all of us moved from London all together, South London. But we just ran out of things to do. And you know what? Like most kids do now. I probably have a joint in your hand and a can of beer. But I just knew that wasn't for me. And so I turned to the boxing gym. And do you know what? Never look back. Ever look back.
And it probably saved you.
Sorry?
It probably saved you.
You know
what I mean?
Yeah.
Being stuck in a little rut.
I would say so. It saved me, yeah, maybe so. But it just transformed my life. Of course it did. It made me a different person. It made me somebody. And I think, that's made me. I put my life into boxing, my whole heart, and there's nothing I wouldn't do to succeed.
No, that's it.
Mick,
And you're still involved in it all now, though, aren't you, Mick?
Do you know? I'm not going into too much detail. I got divorced 4 years ago, and do you know what? I went through a bad time, and I don't know whether to be on this subject just yet, but tried taking my own life. I just went through a stupid period in my life. I've walked away from boxing, and I've just needed it. But I'm completely obviously I would say recovered. When I say recovered, I'm back to my normal self now, back to everything. And I miss boxing. I totally miss boxing now, madly I do. So I need to get back in the gym and become Michael the boxer, Michael the trainer these days. I do need to get back in the gym.
Because at the moment,
I spent a period of time.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry? I was training professional boxers for a while. I went straight into professional boxing. I was promoting, managing, and training. With Ben Jones, for example, he was my main really fighter at the time then. But then I went back after that. I just thought I got a bit bored with the amateur scene, the professional scene, sorry. And I went back to amateur, which I grew to love boxing again. Like the young kids, seeing it wasn't about money for them; it was about love, and that is what I loved. That's what brought me to a gym, the love of the sport. And when you go into an amateur gym and you see 14-year-old kids slogging it out because it's not about money to them. Then they just want to achieve things and they want to fight, and that is what boxing's all about.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think you hear it a lot, don't you? Like I was saying to you guys before I came on, I was just chatting to to someone else, a coach, and he turned around and he said exactly the same thing. It was that moment when he started, when he'd found someone to work with, and that was the passion. It was the passion that was the drive. The money wasn't there at the time. It was all about that drive and believing that you could be something. And when they actually got to where they wanted to be, it's almost like, you know, you see boxers that do start to lose it a tiny bit when they've got everything and they've got the money and they've got all this. But it's that initial, isn't it? It's finding that sort of blood and guts inside you again, isn't it?
Yeah, for me, as I say, for me, it wasn't about money. Money didn't drive me, but succeeding did. Winning titles, that's what I thrived on all the time. Money was irrelevant. I wouldn't say it's irrelevant. Obviously, it's not. Money helps, and money makes the world go round as such. But for me, winning, becoming somebody, is what drove me.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And now, obviously, you're going to be passing that on to the younger generations. You're helping training at the moment, aren't you? I think are you doing the youths? Or?
Well, I haven't been, as I said, I've been out of the gym for a few years now, so I haven't.
Right. Okay.
I need to get myself back in the gym, back down to Crawley Boxing Club.
Are you going to go back to the kids, or are you going to go to seniors? What are you going to go for?
Joe, what? Be honest with you, I think if I go to the seniors, they've already had their stamp. Their trainers have already put their stamp on them.
Yeah.
Go to the juniors. I could put my stamp on them.
Yeah.
And teach them how I feel boxing should be done.
Right.
Put my stamp on them, and that's what I'd like to do. Go back to the juniors. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it's a lot
with
easier.
The juniors, it's much more. It's rewarding.
Yeah. Okay, quick question for you, and this is going to sound really stupid. Obviously, there's a lot of white collar. There's a lot of. Let's take the Queensberry League, which Ross does, and Alan. Really good league. I've boxed on it myself. Absolutely love Ross and Alan to bits. With other scenes that are coming in with like white collar, then you've got the ultra white. How do you feel about that and against the ABAs? Because obviously you started off in the ABAs, and from ABAs you go to pro, and now the white collars come in. Do you think it's affected the levels?
Yeah, maybe, but I'm a different generation. So for me, old school ABAs, go through them, work your way up the ladder that way.
Right.
But these days, yeah, plenty of white collar. There's the Queensberry, things like that, which is Ross is doing well on that one. So it's a different world, as we say, it is, and this is how these boys are fighting these days. Maybe amateur. When I find when an amateur, I think sometimes if your face don't fit, you're not in there. But you have to work your way through up the ladder again in an amateur boxing. With these Queensberry rules and the white collar, you go in there, you can train for X amount of time, have your fight, and you know what? You're going to fall in love with it then. If you're any good, you can see you're any good there. So it gives you a different outlook in life, them sort of fights. But yeah, I'm all with it. It's simple as that. I'm all with it. Fighting. But as long as people are not getting hurt and they're looked after, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I remember a couple of years back, Crawley had a bad incident, didn't they? When a boxer did get injured. I think that was actually on a white collar show, actually, up in the leisure centre. That was a few years back, sort of 10 years ago. But obviously, I'm heavily involved with some of the white collar and the ultra white, which is how I met Joel. And for a start-off platform, I do think the ultra white is a classic. 8 weeks training. Sorry, I've got calls coming in. 8 weeks training and then have a fight. Now, if that person done that and they were at a decent young age, yeah, find the local boxing club, learn it, and then you can go on from there. It's a great way of keeping fit, keeping your mind, your body, and everything else running how it should be. But if I was to turn around to my boy,
so I've been to plenty of shows over the last few years, which the level's been so much better. Probably going to shows 10 years back, 15, like white collars 10, 15 years ago. And to me then, it was about two lads getting in with 2 weeks training, having fights, and nearly killing each other. Right?
Yeah,
and
it used to be the old office suits, didn't it? Yeah,
basically. And so for me, weren't for me. I just thought someone's going to get hurt here, and it's really. And then people, the average Joe off the street, look at it as a boxing fight, and they just put it all together and say boxing should be banned. So for me, health and safety, being able to defend yourself, right, is the key to boxing, right? Defend yourself, then fight. Simple as that. So I just felt at the time, but as I say, white collar Queensbury now, they're decent level fights these days, and they can defend themselves. And they've been trained properly, and that's what needs to be done in any sport.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I totally agree. And also, Ross and Alan do their job. You know, they have trials on. They go out to other gyms. They see the boys. They
Yeah, of
match up
course,
their
and that's exactly that's what I'm saying is.
and that's why
Because why just
Queensbury, to
broke
be
some
fair,
kinds up?
it's top of the league. Okay, so would you recommend? Obviously, if someone come up to you in the street, would you say, "Listen, my son wants to box"? What would you say to them? Would you say get your kid involved, or would you say, "Is that what I would do as a parent?" Do you know what I mean? Like coming from a boxer, would you recommend someone's kid to go boxing? That's a difficult question, isn't it?
Yeah, all
Nick?
day long.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, it is a good question, and all day long. Of course, I would do. Do you know, a lot of people worry about obviously injuries. I've been on the wrong end of the stick of injuries over the years, but that's again another story. But boxing these days, you're looked after, right? Your health is put up. I mean, your health is there first for the referees to see. Let you get beat up and totally mugged off these days. So as long as that's the case, because who wants to see I want to see someone getting beat up, hurt, never being able to box again, and damaged beyond belief. That's not the way boxing should be.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
totally agree. So
just looking back at your career, Mickey, 33 fights, 25 wins, 15 knockouts. What was your?
you got that off box rec, didn't you?
Do you know
I had
what?
a quick
Good
look
old
earlier.
Yeah, box rec. You've called me out. You can't do this. That's what it's there for.
Exactly.
Yeah. What was your sort of crowning glory of your career when you look back out of those fights? What was the standout one for you?
Joe, oh man, winning the British title for the first time.
Yeah.
100%. That one fight. God, I can't remember what year. I mean, I think it was November. I think it was November 98 maybe. I fought Patrick Mullins twice as an amateur. Me and Pat was competing for the Olympic team, 92 Olympic team back then. We'd had 2 fights. I beat him the first time on a club show, ABA final. I mean, and the ABA final will probably be the regret of my life, not winning the national ABA title. Getting to the final, I'd already beat Pat, and I went in there so confident, and I probably overconfident. I just probably switched off too much. I didn't have the edge on me that day. I come out, and he put me down within 10 seconds, and first time I've been put on the floor, I think. I got back up, went the distance, but losing, I think then, and he was ahead of me on the second round. He was on top again, so he probably won the second round as well. I come back, I won the third round. It was a little too. For me, that's my regret of life. But Pat Mullins become a big thing in my life, and for me to beat him then.
Yeah.
That said, that was the best moment of my life. I remember that.
So, Mickey, how did it feel when you were knocked down on the canvas for the first time? What was the feeling going on inside you? You know, obviously you'd never gone through that before, so you're having to dig deep to get back up and go again. How did that actually feel? Because I've had one fight and I've had a draw, so obviously I've got a really good record. But I wondered, what your how it actually felt, because you don't ask that to a lot of boxers, and I just wonder what the thought process was.
Right, I'll tell you, I probably can't remember that far back. I mean, that was bloody 30 years ago, gone now. But
I won't take.
I do remember. I do remember Paul Ingle putting me down when I fought him for the European title. 11th round, I just remember I felt on top of the fight, felt really good, and I got put down in the 11th round.
Yeah.
But because it was the end of the round. So I crawled up, went back to my stall, and my trainer looked. I mean, he looked in my eyes, and he said, "Mate, you've done, mate." And we make him right. I know last round, and the thing is, although I didn't think I was, the referee had me ahead on the scorecard. So for the European title, then for the last round, I think Paul Ingle, if you remember him, phenomenal fighter, and I honestly do think that Brand, if I would have come out, he would have taken my head off. He would have done. So good call by the trainer. What he done a trainer's job, what it should be done, and.
It must be difficult because
I just remember getting up thinking, "What?" Well, I was going to swear there, but I won't. But I just thought, "What just happened to me there?" Got back to the corner. It was a daze. I remember. I mean, not so much. It's not a pain thing, but it's just it takes life.
He's gone.
We seem to have lost Mickey. I think he's the old broadband bill. But
he'll probably rejoin us in a little bit, or his battery's gone flat on his laptop or something. But what a nice fella. You know what I mean? Talking from the bottom of his heart there. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of people, when they talk about it, like, do you know what I mean? It's not only did he have to dig deep off the canvas, but he's just had to dig deep from the bottom of his heart, talking on film to us. Do you know what I mean? Like, it takes a great man to be able to do that.
To talk about how you felt, suicidal, how you felt, all these different emotions that.
And you're bringing back emotions. That's the thing. You're bringing back emotions.
And they say, "Oh, he's a man. He's this, he's that." We're at a time at the moment, especially with lockdown as well, when people losing their jobs and this sort of thing. Mental health's at an absolute high, and for Mickey to highlight that, and for him to get back in the gym and feel stimulated and get back into something is so important, isn't it? And that's why the white collar is so important, because I know for me, when I started doing it, it was, to get stuck into something, to put your heart into something. It was just so important, Hang on, I think we've got.
It's difficult for me to talk about that. All right, Mick, you're right, mate.
I'm right.
Put your computer on charge.
It was on charge. Do you know what? This ain't my computer, so I ain't got a clue what's happening on it, honestly.
You just vanished. That's cool, man. I'm a
scaffolder, so I'm a scaffolder.
I thought that was just your subtle way, Mickey, of saying, "Mate, I've had enough."
I'm always there to the end. Don't remember.
We were just saying, how. Hats off to you, mate. It takes a lot of guts, to get your ass off the canvas when things, aren't going your way. And, that's in and out of the ring, isn't it? Like you were saying, we hit those difficult times where, we think, oh, I just can't be bothered with life anymore, and especially at the moment, it's such a big subject, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll tell you what someone sent me. I'm trying to think of the words. What it was about being put down. It's the getting up what counts. It is. He's having that heart to get back up, and then to face that again. And it takes a lot of balls. It does. It honestly does. I remember going out to South Africa, 2 days' notice for a world title shot. It was destined for failure. Obviously, it was out of the gym probably for 2 or 3 weeks, but I got a call. Someone had failed a brain scan. They rang me up and said, "Do you want to take his place?" And I couldn't turn it down, so I had to fly to South Africa. I had probably, by the time I got the call, I flew 2 days later, got out there. I had 2 days. I had to lose probably £10 in weight at the time as well, which I'm running on a beach. I always remember I was running with some African fellas. And I come out, they come out, so I had to obviously lose some weight. So I come out in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. I mean, it's about 90 degrees, 100 degrees out there. And they went to me, "What are you doing?" I mean, "What?" They goes, "Go and put some clothes on." So I had to go and put a tracksuit on at the lot and run. I mean, that nearly killed me in itself. I just remember getting out there. I mean, I was, of course, I was destined for failure, but it's a chance. As a fighter, you take these chances. I mean, what didn't help as well, I mean, there's about 1 million Zulus, I mean, dressed as Zulus. I thought nearly Zulu territory. And they was chanting, it's the most intimidating time of my life, I believe. And it was. I just knew I was going to lose anyway. The crowd wanted to kill me. And this young fighter, Simon Ramoni, his name was, and he was an excellent fighter as well. He'd already beat Patrick Mullins. He busted Patrick's spleen. He'd beat fit Patrick up inside a few rounds. And then without training, I'm stupid enough to get in the ring with him. But it's a world title shot, and I had to take it. It was an opportunity which we, as a fighter, you're open for that day forever. And I took that chance. It didn't work for me, but it's a chance I don't regret taking it. I mean, if I didn't take it, it would have been what if. So I'd rather know what ifs than to know.
For the rest of your life, that would have been what if.
Yeah, exactly that. So
give it a go, isn't it?
Yeah, so I could just think to myself, what a stupid idiot now, and just think, why the hell did I do that? But at least I know what happened anyway.
Well, Mickey, you've made a massive fan out of my wife, I have to say, as she keeps commenting. You know, she
likes David, eh? She likes them all so far, Joel.
Yeah, to be honest, I think she's liked all of them. She don't really big me up, to be honest, but
that's because you drew.
Yeah,
you drew the short straw as well.
You
mate,
get a couple of wins. Do you know what? Actually, on the Queensbury fights, Ross Minter. I mean, whether Ross is listening now, before all this COVID, he offered me. Now again, I was talking about Patrick Mullins. I fought him twice as an amateur, one each. And I fought him twice as a pro, and that was 1-1. So he offered me a 5th fight decider. So as Pat's the same age as me, or I think he's maybe a year or two younger, but we're similar ages. It would be something, and I'm still fit. I still keep myself in good shape. I would consider doing probably, I don't know, maybe 3 rounds is too short, but I probably think about doing a 5 or 6 rounder or something like that, or I wouldn't do 10 rounds or 12 rounds now. I haven't got that in me.
What weight would you fight at, Mickey?
Joe, I used to kill myself getting down. I was probably a 10 stone 7 person. And I used to get down to, not recommended, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't recommend people do that. But I'm still probably 10-7 now. I'm not changed my weight whatsoever. I'm still very active. But I would say super featherweight, maybe.
Right, okay.
So 9 stone 4.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I'd come down and watch that all day long. You know what I mean? I would come down and watch that all day long.
What do you think?
It's one of those where, you know, when you've got something. Sorry?
What do you think about these fights, Mickey, where you've got, say, the likes of Tyson coming back to fight Roy Jones Jr.? You've got.
Do you know what, right? This is because people. I put a post on Facebook probably 2 weeks ago, and I think the comments are still going on now. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of comments on there. I put a post. What do people think of older men fighting? And they're going, they shouldn't be doing it. There's a lot of pros and a lot of cons against it. But my opinion is, if Tyson's fighting Holyfield, or if he's going to fight the same age, they're fighting the same age, right? I think, what's wrong with that? But I've done what if Tyson was going to go now and fight a 25-year-old Joshua. If he's going to fight a Joshua, for example, it's suicide.
Yeah,
complete suicide. It's like, for example, me getting in the ring now with Josh Warrington. All right, it totally destroyed me inside 2 rounds, maybe even a round, because he's a world-class fighter. Them things don't happen. But if I was to fight a age against somebody, somebody who's kept himself reasonably fit as well, then why not?
Would you do it as an expedition, or would you do it as?
Sorry?
Would you do it as an expedition, or would you do it as a full-on fight?
I don't think any conditions would help, because I know what me and Patrick Mullins are like, right? We're going to want to win, simple as that. So for me, it'd have to be just full on. Would have to be
full on. Yeah.
No conditions whatsoever.
Well, listen, you need to speak to Ross and get this one sewn up and dealed, mate. Do you know what I mean? but make sure you get a good
cool.
purse.
But all I would say is, I wouldn't want to put on 6 ounce, 8 ounce gloves or whatever. I'd want to put maybe 10 ounce, 12 ounce gloves on. Just be a bit sensible as we got older. Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah.
I don't think the idea of an head guard would be any good, but maybe bigger gloves than us, because we're both big punchers in our own mind anyway. So.
Too right.
No, I think it'd be great. I would definitely. I'd stream it live on here, so I'd obviously want something for that as well, Mickey. So.
Yeah, but listen, as I say,
we'd even give you an early interview.
That sounds good to me. I'll tell you, I'm ready for it. So, but that's the only time you'll see me step in the ring.
I like how Nathan said "we," but I just remember what the channel's called. But no,
Listen, all I'll say with boxing, going back to the thing on that, I just think, listen, we all have age limits, we all have this, and I know people got to look out for us. Because I mean, there's obviously a lot of brain injuries, there's damage what can be done. So looking after your welfare is important. So I wouldn't suggest to anyone. I just say, if you're a fit person and you looked after yourself, then do what you want to do. But if you haven't and you're going to struggle getting fit, then leave it alone.
Yeah, definitely. I found that out when I got trained by Nathan. It felt like do or die. But to be fair, it is though. You either put 100% in, or you don't bother, because it's
listen, this is I've told anybody in any fights 100% or nothing. As simple as that, 100% or nothing.
Yeah.
You don't get no 99%.
A lot of people say, don't they? You don't play boxing.
No, you don't. It's just that I used to play Sunday football and things like that. I'm not saying I was no Maradona or whatever, but I love football and I put my all into that Sunday league. I mean, it was as if it was a World Cup final for me like that. So, so for me, 100% into it. If you're going to do anything in life, 100% into it. Again, with work, the way I put 100% into it. Football, I do, and I'm putting 100% into my team, my Liverpool team this season. And well, after winning the league last year and performing so badly, I mean, I'm having so much stick on face non-Liverpool.
Yeah, where are they now in the league? Is it 9th? I think they're 9th, isn't
they? Honestly, Mickey, I'm a gooner, mate, so I can't talk too much.
You know my pain then, yeah. Being a gooner, you know how I'm feeling, definitely. You've known that for the last few years.
And a bit more. But
yeah, definitely.
No, all I want to say is thanks for coming on, Mickey. It's been an absolute,
cool, no problem.
It's been an absolute treat having you on, and you, Nath.
Nathan, what we'll do, I mean, listen, if we can get away without any isolation, then yeah, I'm up for that 100%.
Yeah, wicked. We'll chat. I'll give you a holler in the week.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good to me.
Definitely, mate.
All right,
brother. All right. Thanks for coming.
Much appreciated. No problem. It's been wicked.
We'll have a catch up soon. And
100%.
Yeah, you've been on JG's Fight Talk, and I'll see you both soon.
Great. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Mick. Bro.